Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome back. Please excuse the mess right here, but we have to talk about what is going on with Cracker Barrel. They released their new rebrand and it has a whole bunch of people up in arms. The initial claim was that this was a re-envisioning. This is from the CEO. It's a re-envisioning of what Cracker Barrel stands for and where they want to move towards in the future. And so it has a lot of people saying that they've completely eliminated the heart and soul of what a Cracker Barrel is supposed to be. But what do you think? Do you like the change? Do you not like the change? Here's what I'll do. If you're not familiar with what's going on, Cracker Barrel's logo used to look like, we'll do this side. Cracker Barrel's logo used to look like this. But now Cracker Barrel's logo looks like this. So let's try to figure out what exactly is going on from a branding and marketing standpoint, and then we'll consider some long-term possible effects of this. So there's definitely some similarities between the two logos. It's the same font, essentially the same color palette, but it looks very bland, very corporate-y, very modern compared to the old one. The old one just kind of looks like, that's a country-style restaurant, where the new one looks like it might be a law firm.
If you think you have a case, call Cracker and Barrel Law today.
You have one of three reactions to this. Number one, you absolutely love it. This is what the CEO of Cracker Barrel is saying. People absolutely love this rebrand. They are just all over it. Number two, you absolutely hate this rebrand. You feel like Cracker Barrel has sold its soul and it is not a place that you'll be frequenting ever again. Or number three, you just don't care. As long as they serve good food, you'll be there, or you don't care because you don't go to Cracker Barrel hardly ever anyways, and so it's not even a big deal. But there is a lot in this story that I don't necessarily want to get into, but in short, the Cracker Barrel of CEOs made it very clear that she has an agenda, she has an ideology that she feels the company needs to abide by if it is going to compete in the future American market. And she also feels like it's in line with what the customers of Cracker Barrel, who are typically middle working class folk who just want to go in and have a peaceful country style breakfast. And you cannot forget the apples, the cooked apples. They are delicious. And they want that at a reasonable price. They want to feel homey. They want to feel comfortable, a place where you just go in, you get a cup of coffee and you shoot the breeze, with your family, with friends, people you haven't talked to in a while, and you just have a nice time. Now, along with just the rebrand of the logos and the color palettes, they are also remodeling 500 plus stores. And I would encourage you to Google what these new stores are going to look like. Because they're going for a more bright white walls. It's a very bright, vibrant. They're going with some updated furniture. So instead of like the country style tables, some of the tables look more like bistro tables, like the iron with the flat tops, not wood, at least from the photos. And that could change. So that's what they're going for. Again, you have people that are saying this is awful. It's terrible. It's just demoralizing because it is not what Cracker Barrel is supposed to be. So right off the bat, it seemed like yesterday a lot more people were in the boat of they hated it. The Cracker Barrel stock plummeted, and they were the laughing stock of the internet yesterday. Well, today the stock has rebounded a little bit. So what does this mean? Was this rebrand success? Well, here's the thing. From a marketing perspective, your phone call, your logo, your color palette, your brand messaging is only as good as your actual mission and vision for your business. Yeah, there's a few exceptions. Customers will do business with businesses. They'll purchase things from organizations and businesses because they kind of have to. Think of Amazon and Walmart. Those are companies that a lot of people just don't agree with what they do, but where else are you going to be able to get stuff, right? Without having to drive all over, God's creation. So there are a few exceptions, but what it comes down to is those are kind of necessities. You really have to get something. You can't find it anywhere locally. Yeah, you got to go to Amazon, or you just want to get groceries and a couple other things as cheap as possible. You go to a Walmart. But when it comes to food, when it comes to restaurants, people are just going to have to decide. Are they okay with it? Do they care about the ideology of the CEO of Cracker Barrel? Do they like these changes? Do the changes matter to them? Or is this just another company that has, quote, gone woke and they don't want to deal with it anymore? Customers are going to have to decide that on their own. There are plenty of other restaurants that you can go to. There's IHOP, there's Denny's, or wait, maybe instead of going to a national chain, you support your locally owned breakfast stops or spots. I messed that up there. But if you're wondering, man, I wish there was a place that I could find a list of the local breakfast restaurants in my area here in Central PA. Well, you're in luck, because trustedlocal.co, all you have to do, go to the website, type in what you're looking for, where you're looking for it, and you will get a list of all of the locally owned restaurants, all the locally owned businesses in that area. It's that simple. So a company's brand or their marketing is only but a reflection. You can have the best marketing out there and it can just pour customers in left and right, but it's not the actual transaction. It's not the actual thing that is going to keep people coming back if they have a bad experience. How a client actually engages and transacts with a business is going to be ultimately what matters. If you don't run the business well, you will eventually fail. And if you are driving your business in a direction that is not in line with what your customers want, you either have to survive long enough to find a new customer base, or it's going to be a quick ending for you. So what about Cracker Barrel? Time will tell. Was it the right time to rebrand? Possibly. Will the CEO's personal agenda come back and cost the company millions of dollars in the long term? Possibly. Most of the decisions that companies make or business owners make involve a substantial amount of risk. And this is something that general public normally doesn't think about. But for a publicly traded company like Cracker Barrel, they unfortunately don't just have to think about their customer base. They have to think about their investors, which is why a lot of companies, they make decisions based on what's this going to do for our stock value? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? How's that going to work? And so they think of that first, and then sometimes customers second, which again is why I love locally owned businesses. They are fully dedicated to serving their customers. So this weekend, instead of going out and, going to a big chain, go to a local place and support your local economy. My personal opinion of the whole Cracker Barrel thing, I'm not a fan, but that's just my opinion. So I hope you all have a great weekend tonight. If you're in Blair County, it's the Altoona Hollidaysburg rivalry football game. Go out and enjoy something local this weekend, and we'll see you next week.